Good morning. How are y'all today? It is chilly here in Louisiana. We had high 30s last night. This is the end of April. We should not be in the 30s, but it's going to be in the 70s today. I know the weather is weird everywhere. I have friends in Ohio with snow on the ground, and it snowed in Virginia, I heard. I have friends that it snowed on in Missouri earlier this week. So it's kind of a crazy weather week, and we have storms coming in tomorrow night. Y'all be in prayer for us. We've got some pretty severe weather moving in tomorrow night, and for every area that does, because it's not just going to affect Louisiana. But today I want to talk to you about 5 tips to be happy, balanced, and growing in your career. You know, whatever you do, if you do whatever... Hey, let's back up. Boy, my tongue got tied up, didn't it? If you could do whatever you wanted to do all day long, what would you do? If you could be in a career you love, doing what you want to do, what would you do? What's your dream job? Tell me that. Do you have a dream job? Do you stay where you are simply to pay the bills? Is living out your passion through a career a dream? If it is, I want to give you 5 tips today. The first one is to decide what you want. Now, I want to back up just a little bit and say, if you don't know what your purpose is, you need to go into the unit in finding your purpose walk and work through that unit of finding your purpose. That's important. You need to find your purpose. And then start implementing these steps. And then when you do that, go to the goal setting area and learn how to set good, smart goals. Okay? So your first tip again is decide what you want. A lot of the time we get out of school, whether it's high school, college, whatever, and we take one of the first jobs that we get offered. And we don't think about, is this what I want to do the rest of my life? I had some interesting jobs. My very first job was working in a framing shop. And I put together, they built the frames, and I put pictures in them and learned how to do all that. And it was interesting. And it was my first job. I was 18, 19 years old. I went from there to work for another company. I'm not even sure how I found that job, but I found the next job through my dad. He thought I ought to work in an office, so he knew someone through his work, and they had a job, and so I took that job. I never gave thought to, is this what I want to do the rest of my life? I just never thought about it. I ended up ended up working in offices all my life, and I don't regret that because I got some really good training. Now, there was 18 years where I was home, which again, I got good training then too, being a stay-at-home mom, but we don't think about our careers. We just get out of school, and it's expected we go to work, and we go to work. And usually we go to work the first place that'll hire us. That's what most of us do. You don't put any thought into it, but yet you're spending 8 hours a day at least, most jobs, 5 days a week. So you're spending 40 hours of your week in a job that you didn't even give any thought to. It paid, you took the job. Paid what you thought you needed to pay. And sometimes it didn't. Sometimes we have taken jobs just because it's a job. So decide what you want. Go work on your purpose, decide what you want, and then decide how you're going to get there. Is there training? You got to do your research. You got to figure out, is there training? Is there, do you need to relocate? Is there a position in the company you're in that you would love? Look into this. Look into what you want to do. And remember that changing your career is going to take research. You've got to do your research. So now you've done your research. So the next thing you do is grow yourself. Okay, you need to grow yourself personally and professionally. Both of those are important. So you've done your research, and there's training for that job. Training that would be great for you to have. Look into that. Look into what you need to do. What training do you need to get into to be able to get this job? And not only that, you've got to develop yourself personally. If you don't have a personal development plan, reach out to me. I can recommend books. I'm a life coach. I can help you in that area. I have something really exciting coming up that's not expensive. It's a great way to get your coaching. It's a small monthly fee. And I mean small monthly fee. If you're interested in that, reach out. It's just really, really neat idea. I've just never seen anything like it. But you'll have coaching in the palm of your hand. Basically, it'll go with you wherever you go. So you're sitting in the doctor's office and you're saying, I really need to work on my personal development. Ping, you open it up and you do some work and you get rewarded for it. You'll get, yay, you did what you're supposed to do. It's really neat though, and it helps you balance your life in 7 areas, and career is one of those areas. We call it field, but it's career. But anyway, you need to work on yourself personally. You need personal development. You need to be reading books. You need to be listening to podcasts, looking into life coaching, whatever. And again, you can have a consultation with me. It's free. I don't charge a penny to talk to you about, what's available for you. And again, this app that I have coming up, I am just, it's like nothing I've ever seen. Nothing I've ever seen, but it will allow you to get life coaching very inexpensively. Okay, so you've decided you've worked on your purpose, then you've decided what you want, you've decided how to get there, you're working on growing yourself. What's the next step? Set those goals. Go back into our group and look at how to set goals. How do you set good goals, smart goals to get to where you want to be? This is your transition into the new career you want. I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again. Do not quit your job. You're going to put yourself in a bad financial situation, and that can cause relationship problems. Don't quit your job until you have another job. Don't do it. Don't quit your career unless you have something else. When I lost my job in 2019, I immediately started a small stopgap business. It wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. It's not in my wheelhouse. It's not what I like. But I had 2 choices. I could start something that I could get immediate income from, or I could go back to work for someone else. I didn't want to do that. I had had enough of that. I knew how little employers care. Most employers, and this was a small company. The man that owned it really didn't care about his employees. He just did not. And he may say he did, and it was promoted as a family company, but I'm telling you, the way I saw things done and the way I saw other people let go, besides myself, it's not. It was not a family company at all. And that's hard to find. That is really hard to find an employer who really cares about you. So if you have lost your job, find a way to transition into getting to do what you want to do. Oh, Heather, I understand. I've worked in customer service all my life. I'm assuming that may be what you do. And going to college to be an RN, start looking into that. You're not getting any younger. I'm going to tell you, don't wait until the time is perfect. Start doing things now. Start planning now. If you need to save the money, start making sure you're doing that. So you just get yourself ready for that transition. I know, like I said, if you're working in customer service at Chase, I know what that's like. I mean, I didn't work there, but I've worked customer service, and it's a difficult position. It's a thankless position a lot of times. But anyway, so start making your plan. If you need to talk, message me. So we've decided what we want. We've decided how to get there. We're working on growing ourselves professionally and personally. We're making the plan. So the last thing you need to do is, when you start this, when you start getting ready and you're transitioning into that new position, you need to make sure that you allow for work-life balance, okay? You have got to have time for your family and your friends. You've got to have time to relax and to have some fun. And also important, you've got to have time for your faith. When I took that last position I spoke of, it got to where I could not go to church and worship on Wednesday nights because I worked up until about the time that service started. And that was putting me into 10, 11, 12-hour days most days. And it was difficult. It was hard for me to get there. And it separated me from my worship family. And that was difficult for me. So make sure that whatever you're transitioning into will give you that balance. Give you the balance you need in your family, in your friends, your fun, and also important, your faith. You've got to have that balance. It's going to take time to create a new career. Heather said she wants to become an RN. That's a 4-year, I believe, 4 years to do that. And if you're having to work while you go to college, it's going to take a lot longer than that. Some of that you can do online, but again, you've got family, if you've got kids, it's difficult. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be worth it. If that's where your passion is, it's going to be worth it. If that's your purpose in life, it is going to be worth it. It's going to be hard. It's going to take time. But you can do this. You can transition into a new career. You can transition into something you love and something that fulfills you in a place you can serve. That is so important. You know, a lot of times we think of service as being in the church only. Service is not just in the church. Service is in your community. Service is in your career. Service is in your family. You serve everywhere you are. And you need to find a way to serve if you don't know how. Let's just say, you know, Heather's told us where she worked. And I, having worked in customer service, you know, sometimes the serving was just simply being there for someone else, you know, listening to someone else. Sometimes on break, you know, sitting down and listening to someone. You can serve that way. You also serve, this is important. I talked about this Sunday night in a breakout session at our church. It is so important that you are doing what you are hired to do, because that is service to your employer. That is service to your employer. So make sure you're doing your job, you're doing it right. Listen, I love y'all. Heather, if you want to reach out to me, reach out. This is Heather. Oh, I had two Heathers on here today. I bet you're like, what? But I have two Heathers watching today. But Heather, you know who you are. You know who I'm talking to. If you want to talk, reach out to me on Messenger. I'm more than happy to talk with you. I do 30-minute consultations if you'd like to talk sometime when you've got some time. I know being a single mom and working, that's difficult. But I want y'all to know that I love y'all. Tomorrow, I have an interview with Sherry Martin. I'm so excited about that. Sherry's going to come and talk to us about starting a business, being an entrepreneur, and how they did that in their family and started a very, very successful business here in the Monroe area. They have now retired from that, and their son is running that business. It is a very successful business. I can't wait to talk with her tomorrow. I can't wait for y'all to hear. Sherry has such a sweet, sweet spirit. But until then, y'all, I love y'all. Take care, and I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Bye.